Coming up next on the Filthy Rich Cleaners podcast.
Luckily, there was no children with the guests who were traumatized by my cleaner. Again, it's like flustering me talking about it.
From your first dollar to your first million, welcome to the Filthy Rich Cleaners podcast, presented by ZenMade. Join your host, Stephanie Pipkin, founder of Serene Clean, as she shares proven tips, tricks, and hard-earned lessons. Whether you're just starting out or ready to scale, get ready to discover how to build your own cleaning empire. Let's roll up our sleeves and dive in.
Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Filthy Rich Cleaners podcast. I am your host, Stephanie Pipkin, owner of Serene Clean, and in this episode, boy, do I have a treat for you guys. I am going to give you some of my favorite crazy employee stories, and just so you know, the best one I am saving for last, and it is very much not safe for work. So if you have little ears, just maybe step away from them or put your earbuds in for the last story. But I have to include it because it is truly the wildest thing that has ever happened to me as a cleaning company owner, on the employee side at least. So here are some of our favorite stories. I talked to my managers yesterday and I was like, help jog my memory because so many crazy things have happened. These were some of our favorites. I'm sure there will be more episodes of this as we remember, because honestly, there's so much tomfoolery that has happened over the past nearly 6 years of Serene Clean, and over the course of hundreds of employees. They do some crazy stuff, guys, and you maybe have had some wild things happen from employees yourself. I would love to hear those in the comments. So as we go along, if any of the stories I say trigger a memory, perhaps suppressed and pushed away because it's so traumatic, please put it in the comments. I would love to read your crazy stories as well of what staff members have done, because it is something we can all commiserate over, is that employees are very challenging. Some of the most rewarding things that have happened to me as a business owner have because of the staff I have, and some of the worst things that have happened to me are because of staff. So these are mostly funny stories. I'm going to give you 5, and we're going to start off with the mildest ones. So buckle up and enjoy while you're cleaning. By the way, I was in the Caribbean this weekend. That's why I got these braids in my hair, and they are very fun. That's why I never usually have my hair like this. If you're wondering, Stephanie, why is your hair like that? That's why, guys. I was down in Antigua, and it was lovely to get away from the snow in Savannah, Georgia, which never happens. Very bizarre. So nice perk of once you get your business to a certain place, you can hop on down for little vacations here and there, and it does not affect anything. So something to strive for. For sure, it is good to be back though, and back with all of you, my friends, as we navigate business ownership together. So, all of that said, let's start with my number 5 story. And this is from a lady. She was a great cleaner, and this one's short and sweet, but when she quit, typically when people quit, they give us some type of reason. Sometimes they ghost us, sometimes they don't, but oftentimes the reason has something to do, with the physicality, or they get another job, or they are just not liking the cleaning, et cetera, et cetera. This cleaner's reason when she put in her notice, and she did give us, I believe, a 2 weeks notice, perhaps only 1 week, but her reason was that she was not spending enough quality time with her pets, and that she is going to need to quit in order to do that. So I'm not sure how she kept any type of income coming in from spending time with her pets, but that is the reason that she gave, and we just thought that that was quite humorous, and we oftentimes reference it if we are not spending enough time with our animals, that maybe we just need to quit our jobs and go do that. So always enjoy that one. So from that, what is the strangest reason somebody has quit that they have given you? If you have anything, put it in the comments, guys. I want to see. Number 4. This one was kind of a two-parter. So this employee was a great cleaner, and we have, just to give you guys some backstory, we have 2 work cars that employees can use at any time when they need a backup, say their car's in the shop or whatever is happening. We do have a couple work cars that they can use. However, there's a lot of rules when it comes to being able to use the work car, because it's definitely a privilege, not a right. And as an employee of Serene Clean, they must have a reliable vehicle to get to and from work. They have to have vehicle insurance, all of that good stuff. However, this is something we do offer, because even just looking at this week, how many people's cars are broken down with all of the cold. we absolutely have needed those in order to get jobs done. So it is a great thing to have as an option, but I will never have a fleet of vehicles. Anywho, this cleaner, she had been using the work vehicle a lot. I think her truck had been in the shop or something. Doesn't really matter. She needed it. Great. So we had gotten a report from basically a friend of my manager or another staff member that they had seen the Serene Clean work car at one of the local bars, but didn't take a photo, nothing like that. And so when we confronted the cleaner about it, she denied it, of course. And we didn't have any proof. So it's like, okay, that's shitty, but what are we going to do? We don't have any proof, right? Anywho, one of the things that comes with the work car is we also fill up the gas tank in the work car when they're using this. Because for us, we either pay them a gas stipend because they're using their own personal vehicle, or they have the Quick Trip gas card, because that's our local gas station Quick Trip. If you have not been to a Quick Trip in Wisconsin or Quick Star in Iowa, you have not lived. Illinois, Iowa, I can't remember. Illinois, I think. You have not lived. I don't care. It's the best chain of gas stations that have ever existed in the United States. Fight me on this. All right. Quick Trip, sponsor this podcast if you're listening. Anywho, so we have a business gas card for Quick Trip, and April, my accounts manager, who does all of the billing, all of the payments and things like that, checked the gas card once this employee quit or put her in her 2 weeks notice, because we're like, ooh, like we're just having a bad feeling about this. So she checked, and there was some charges that were clearly not from our work car. And the reason we know that is because our work car has like a 14 gallon capacity, and the gas that was filled on this one charge was like 18 gallons. Doesn't even fit in the work car. Anywho, so she calls up Quick Trip, and she asks them to basically pull the tape, because everything is under surveillance, so we could find the timestamp of when that card was charged, go look at the tank or the gas footage, and lo and behold, there is this cleaner. I keep trying to not say their names to cover an anonymity. This cleaner filling up her personal truck with the Serene Clean gas card. So we message her and we're like, hey, can you explain these charges? Like, we know that it wasn't the work card or the work car. And she's like, oh, no, that's not true. Like, I would never, and got very, very heated and salty over us, in her mind, accusing her of stealing, because that's what it is. And so she was all huffing and puffing and real self-righteous and whatever. And then we let her go. And then we sent her the screenshots of her filling up her red truck with gas. And all of a sudden her tune starts changing. She is stammering. She's like, oh my gosh, I must have grabbed the wrong card by mistake. It was totally an accident. Where the work card has a PIN number associated with it. It's not like you just swipe it like a credit card. You have to enter the driver number. So there is no way in hell that this was an accident, because you had to manually type in the PIN for the work card, which would have been totally different than her personal PIN, of course. So she's lying up the ass. She's stammering, all of that stuff. And then she comes to me and says, I would never steal. Like, I hope you believe me. I'm so sorry. And she had been really just kind of nasty towards the end. So this was just, it felt really, really good to catch her in this, because it's like, I had a suspicion that things were going awry and she was doing some nefarious stuff. So having that proof really just, chef's kiss. It was so satisfying. So when you can catch them in things like that, guys, it feels so good. So that definitely changed her tune. So that was both going to the bar in the work car and then stealing from the company in the form of gas and lying about it. So that one was fantastic. This one really ground my gears. Number 3 is going to be workers' comp fraud in a very interesting manner, if I will say. So we had this young cleaner. She was probably 20 years old, and she was doing mostly commercial for us. Super sweet, super outgoing. And so she was, friends, acquaintances with one of my other long-term cleaners. And so they were, friends on social media, Snapchat, all of that stuff. And so my cleaner, not the workers' comp fraud. So Cleaner A, let's say, Cleaner A had been chatting with workers' comp fraud lady over Snapchat and had invited her over to a bonfire to her house. Let's say it's a Saturday night. And workers' comp fraud Cleaner B, said, I honestly think I dislocated my rib last night. I got so drunk, though, I don't remember how it happened. Saying, I hurt myself drinking, basically. And I was so drunk, I don't even know how it happened. Again, underage drinking. Welcome to Wisconsin. So time goes on. It's like a week later. And Cleaner A was asked how she was doing. And all of a sudden, Cleaner B changed her tune and started saying that this injury happened at work. And Cleaner B comes to us in management and says, hey, I hurt myself while cleaning, while mopping. I think I dislocated my rib mopping the floors, which if you saw her, how she mopped, I mean, it's actually not that far-fetched because this girl, we had to like teach her how to sweep. I think she would have used the wrong end anyway, young people cleaning. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I'll get off my high horse as a boomer and no kids know how to clean these days type of thing. But anywho, so our, long-term cleaner comes to us and is like, hey, I got this, and here is the screenshots of her saying this. And basically the Cleaner B wanted to go to the chiropractor, wanted to go to the doctor, and, get compensation for lost wages because she was calling in because she was hurt, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, dude, we know you're lying. We know you got hurt. Here's the proof. And she was just adamant. She was going to the doctor, and the doctor started submitting claims to us for a workers' comp claim. And you really, you don't want workers' comp claims anyways, obviously, because it jacks up your insurance rates. But to be fraudulent, oh my gosh, nothing makes me more like vindictive as a business owner than somebody trying to commit fraud on me, because that is BS, especially considering how wonderful we had been to this particular girl. And I keep saying girl because she was a young girl. She was definitely under 20 years old. And it was just so upsetting because she was so sweet. And I'm like, gosh, this is crazy that she would be lying like this. So anyway, obviously I had some very strong words from her, and we parted ways. Come to find out later, because, we in a small town, that one of my managers ran into her older brother at a bar, and the older brother did confirm that their parents had insisted or convinced her to lie and say that this was a work injury. And push it on that as opposed to it being her own stupidity while drunken at a party. And so, yeah, her parents told her to lie and do a workers' comp claim. Super ironic considering they are very strongly religious and portray themselves as that. So, a little bit ironic on that one. So, small towns, and people forget that social media is a thing, apparently. So guys, like, if you ever have a suspicion that your cleaners are full of shit, just go look on social media. Don't be afraid to be friends with them or have your managers or your loyal cleaners be friends with them, because it's not like stalking them or catching them in something private, because they're publicly putting it out there. This cleaner publicly put this out there on her story and told other people about it, and then tried to backtrack and make Stephanie pay for her doctor's visits because she was acting a fool while drunk. So that one, I may be a little salty about that. Maybe I haven't gotten over that one yet. It was like 3 years ago. So yeah, that one really bothered me for sure. All right. On to number 2. This one is one I think about fondly because it's so bizarre. Okay, so this cleaner, actually these number 1 story and number 2 are both male cleaners. Interestingly enough, I guess I didn't think about that when I was listing all of these out, that it was guys that did my wildest ones. So number 2 story. All right. Backstory. We have a vacation rental client that we do turnovers for, and the turnovers are scheduled for 4 hours. It's a nice cabin in kind of a lake area that we have in rural western Wisconsin. Very, very beautiful. So we have a lot of cabins that we do out in that area. And this cleaner had been assigned to this cabin several times before. And this cleaner had been getting more and more erratic as time went on when it came to following instructions and following the checklist. It was like he just wanted to do his own thing or come up with ways to do things that in his mind were better or more sensical. But none of them were sensical, and you'll understand what I'm saying when I tell the story. Anyways, so fast forward to, I believe it was supposed to be a Friday cleaning, because the guests weren't coming in, Friday or Saturday cleaning, and the guests weren't coming in until Tuesday, because we always note in our Zen-Made notes when the next guests are coming in. So we know, is there wiggle room on this turnover if necessary? And that's just something we always keep up to date. And we let the client know that, like, hey, if we need to change something, we'll always do it before the next guest comes in, blah, blah, blah. But it's always that really good communication so that they're not caught unaware. So cleaning is scheduled, and the cleaner is there for 4.5 hours, which is long. And we didn't notice this until after what is about to happen, happened. And we're like, what the F? But anywho, so our owners give us a call or message or leave a voicemail on, I believe it was Sunday. And again, the cleaning was supposed to happen the day before. And the cleaner was clocked in for 4.5 hours, which is longer than the approved turnover cleaning time. May I add, as I noted before, it should have been 4 hours. And the owner sends a bunch of pictures and is pretty upset because they're like, hey, the cleaning is like half done. Like none of the laundry is done. There's laundry in the washer and dryer. The floors aren't done. All of this cleaning is not done. And we're like, what the hell? What the hell happened? And so we messaged our cleaner and we get the most erratic message. I just hope that he was doing like talk to text, but I don't think he was, because I don't think he knows how to do that. This is an older gentleman and he was super not tech savvy. And so it was very nonsensical. What his reasoning was he left the cleaning because he noticed that the firewood outside was getting a little low. And so he decided on his own that he was going to go get more firewood at his house and bring it back the next day and finish the cleaning on Sunday morning. That was what he told us. So in no uncertain terms is, one, filling firewood part of the cleaning checklist, certainly not from your own home, and three, whatever number I'm on, are you supposed to ever leave a cleaning without completing it unless it is an emergency situation or you got sick? And you certainly don't do that without telling us what the hell happened. He was just going to go get his firewood, apparently, and come back Sunday and complete it. And he was adamant. He was like, I was going to finish it. I know the guests weren't going to be there till Tuesday. And we're like, dude, this is unacceptable. What are you talking about? Follow the effing checklist. That is not on the checklist. And never are you to leave a cleaning and not complete it, and certainly not tell us that you didn't complete it. That's not how this works. And just like him, like not understanding why this wasn't okay. It was just crazy. So, that one was pretty wild. He did not make it much longer. And he ended up actually going and working for one of our commercial facilities that we clean. And he did get fired there, or maybe he didn't even get hired. I can't remember. He ended up not passing the drug test, and they were not, let's just say this was not just marijuana that he was on. So that makes a lot of sense now looking back of like, oh yeah, the erraticness did just get a lot worse. So sometimes this happens, guys. Sometimes crazy shit like this happens, and all you can do is shake your head and laugh and use it as an example when you're training new staff of like, don't ever leave to go get firewood because you notice that the guests' firewood container is getting low. All right. Don't go chop it down at your house and bring it back. And I don't even know if he had actually planned on doing that. Additionally, what the heck were you doing for 4.5 hours there, dude? I don't understand. The cleaning wasn't done. So Yeah, it's all just a mystery, and it just gets me heated thinking about it. Like, what the heck is going on? So, and you know what? The owners were so understanding because they're like, no, he's a nice guy. Every time we talk to him, he's super nice because they had ran into him before or texted him or something like that. So he was like, please, he shouldn't be in trouble for this. Like, and we're like, oh yes, guest, he's not going to get in trouble for this. Wink, wink. If you guys are just listening, I just winked at the camera because, yeah, you bet your ass he got in trouble for this. Like, dang. Oh, it still makes me angry. Okay, deep breath, Stephanie. Because this next one, this is number one, guys. And like I said, not safe for work, but I have to share it, and I will try to keep this as PG as I can and use as much innuendo as I can on this one because I'm still speechless that this happened. This happened, in the past 2 years, I think. And I don't know if anything is going to top it. I guess, knock on wood, anything's possible, right? So, okay, another male cleaner. And that's important. His gender is important in this one. Another male cleaner. Again, vacation rentals. Maybe I just need to not send guys into vacation rentals because I am 0 for 2 on this, right? So we had a voicemail waiting for us on a Monday morning from the vacation rental owner. And she just said, please call me back. This is an emergency. Female owner. Okay. And we had our cleaner take care of the cleaning on Sunday. Clocked in, clocked out without incident. We don't have any notes from him, so we have no idea what the heck this is about when it comes to calling this owner back because clearly it was an emergency and it was important. And side note, this cleaner had been excellent. This was his second job. He had a full-time job Monday through Friday, and he was just trying to get some additional income for his family. What have you, very quiet, no incidents before, great model employee, really great attendance, good quality on the cleans, literally no issues. And I think he had only been working for us for probably, I don't know. Yeah. Managers, if you're watching this, correct me, but I feel like it was less than 6 months on this. But anywho, so he was doing great. So I have a fully female management team, as most of you guys know, and I'm a woman, in case you guys hadn't noticed. So we're dealing with all women here, and the guests involved are also women. So I don't even want to say this. Okay, it's still embarrassing to me. Okay. Get yourself together, Stephanie. So when the guests arrived on Sunday, they arrived early. And so the cleaning window, I think, was from 11 to 3 o'clock, meaning the guests couldn't check in until 3. They couldn't get into the property. However, this was also a property that was located on a pretty lake. And so the guests had driven in and they got there early and they saw that the cleaner's vehicle was parked outside of the house and they were going to park and walk around the lake as they waited for the cleaning to be done. But what they wanted to do as to not startle the cleaner, because it was a very deserted area, they didn't want the cleaner to be freaked out all of a sudden that a strange vehicle was there. Very courteous of the guests, right? So they were just going to knock on the door, let the cleaner know hey, we're just walking around the lake. We're not serial killers. We're all good, right? So super duper nice of them to do that and thoughtful, especially again, they probably assumed it was a female cleaner, female guests, very courteous, right? Okay. So the guests informed the owner, who is now informing Crystal, my HR manager, that they walked up to the door of the rental, and the door of the rental is a glass door, meaning you can see through the top half, or it was a glass screen door, whatever it was, clearly visible. This is not a solid wood door. And they go up to knock on it. And before they get a chance to knock, what do they see? I want you all to pause right now and think, what could they have possibly seen my male cleaner doing in the privacy of his vacation rental that he is in at cleaning on the clock that I am paying him to do. What do you think he was doing, guys? Let's just all ponder that for a moment. Well, whatever you're thinking is correct. He was having some alone time in the bathroom of the vacation rental with the door open, and the guests got a full front show of what was going on. So I'll just leave it at that. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. And so there is no ifs, ands, or buts. It was him. It was his car. We ran through every scenario of like, please, dear Lord, let this not be what it actually is. But alas, our prayers were not answered, and it was what it was. So, luckily there was no children with the guests who were traumatized by my cleaner having a good time by himself. And he did not see the guests. So, like, they just walked away, right? And they called the owner and let the owner know. So, my cleaner didn't even know. Like, so I'm assuming that, like, I don't know. You guys, I don't even want to say it. So, again, it's like flustering me talking about it. So anyway, so Crystal calls him up and is like, hey, we need to talk. And I believe she just did a phone call. Because again, he worked full time, like during the week. He didn't work for us during the week. And so he calls her on his lunch break or whatever. And she's like, look, we know you did this. Like, what do you have to say for yourself? And it was so awkward. And he just apologized profusely. He didn't deny that that's what he was doing. But good. I can't even describe to you like the level of shock. And like, I never in a million years would think I would have to spell out to my staff members to not, do that on the job site. Like, and all I can think is, okay, he's been at a lot of vacation rentals, like for me alone, because he always cleaned alone. Like, how many times have I paid for this? How many sessions have I paid for? Like, this is ridiculous. I'm not paying you to do that. So, I don't know if cleaning just excited him that much or he just didn't get a lot of alone time. He was a busy guy. Guess it doesn't really matter and we'll never know. But yeah, that's one of my wildest stories that have ever happened to me. So guys, please make me feel better. Please tell me a story. Please say that you've had something ridiculous like this happen. And I have more stories, guys. I wanted to keep it to 5. And I knew eventually I'd share this one on the podcast. So what do you think, guys? Please tell me which one's your favorite. How would you have handled these situations? What would you have said to the client? Because obviously we are so mortified. What do you do? What do you say? So luckily most of these problems were internal, but sometimes they do wild things. And this is, I guess, the risk of opening your own business and having employees. You don't really think about these things happening. So, yeah. I hope that brightened your day, guys. Please let me know what stories do you have, and I'll make sure to share more of these as I recall them. Honestly, so many things have happened over the past 6 years. I literally forget, like, oh yeah, that crazy thing happened. But you live and you learn. You tell your employees to not do things, and you're gonna run into things, guys. So I hope these gave you a chuckle while you're cleaning, while you're driving. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Share this with your friends and make them laugh as well, because that is my goal, is to teach you and to make you laugh. That's what gives me joy. So anyway, guys, I will see you in the next episode of Filthy Rich Cleaners, and I hope you are having a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Bye.